What is going on, everybody, and welcome to It's a Wrap Sports Network. This is the Birds Fly By Week 2 post-game show. Eagles get the W. Stressful W. Ugly, offensive W. But the Eagles definitely get the win 20-10 or 20-17. Hand Mahomes his first 3-game losing streak. So they stopped him from getting the three-peat, but they gave him a three-peat of some sort, 3-game losing streak, right? But honestly, probably the talking point's going to be back-to-back weeks. The offense looks bland, stale, especially the passing offense, right? And how they could continue to benefit from this defense. So, but also back-to-back weeks, the Eagles get the dub. So at the end of the day, that's what matters. And you continue to try and just build. It's still very early. It's week 2. But I can see this being one of those wins that you get continued more complaints about why this isn't sustainable all year. Right. So hopefully those things get fixed. They tried to force AJ the ball early. The first couple possessions looked pretty sloppy. You had fumble, dropped passes, couple third and longs. So, and you're going to get the continued excuse of they didn't play in the preseason and everything like that. Hey, at the end of the day, show up to work, do what you got to do. They got the W, and that's all you can. That's all. That's the point of the game, right? You play to win the game. So this is what it is for right now. Let's get into some of these comments. Fly, Eagles, fly. Cry, Chiefs, cry. Eagles broke the Chiefs. What's going on, Eagles fans? Big Al, what's going on? What is happening? The excuses are going to flow about the tush push again. Oh, it's going to be. I wrote it down. What did I have here? That it's going to be because of it's going to be too difficult for the refs to be able to see if something like the fumble that didn't happen there at the end is it too hard for the refs to be able to dictate and see something in a scrum of that many guys? That's what I can already see it now. It'll take another week or two for the offense to click. Yeah. And here's what a lot of people are going to start saying. You can get away with that against a Cowboys team, and you get lucky from a few CD Lamb drops, right? You got lucky this week from a Thornton drop that ended up, they redeemed themselves later on, but really you got lucky from that Kelsey bobble, who I believe there was somebody else on the network a couple days ago saying that they would rather have Mahomes and Kelsey connection and take them. And I tried to say, Kelsey is way too worried about his upcoming extravaganza of a wedding and podcasting, right? And it shows. Focus at the goal line right there leads to that Makuba, who had an outstanding game. Yeah, he got trucked by Mahomes, but in on the blitzes, in on that interception, should have had the return for touchdown, but he's everywhere. He's at the line of scrimmage. He's obviously able to play back. Almost like another Cooper DeJean, right? But yeah, you got the Rams coming up next week. Are they going to be able to rely on the defense in a very bland, stale 1993, 1994, 5 style of offense with Tulo? So you got the Nakua, Puka, and what's his name? I can't think of his name. God damn it. Aaron Rodgers guy. I can't think of his name. The other receiver. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. You're going to have trouble. You're going to have trouble with those guys and you have a great running back. So you're going to have an offense that can go toe for toe next week. If Travis caught the ball at the end zone, the Chiefs would have, see, there we go. Point exactly. Point exactly. He's not who he was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I'm worried about Jahad Campbell having to cover him, a rookie, Jahad Campbell, right? Having to cover Travis Kelce. Not anymore. And Campbell, who I feel like he had a fairly decent game, got that one pop on Mahomes. You see him out there on run defense or on sweeps in pass coverage. Last week he had a good pass breakup. Yeah, he had the stupid penalties again. That's another thing they got to clean up. So you give him what? 2 more games, 1 more game to be able to clean up the rust from penalties, the rust from a lack of what feels like chemistry at all in the passing game. Saquon, he had a nice game. Adam, what's up, Steve? We got the win. They need to get a new playbook. They need to throw whatever playbook they have, Adam, right now and throw it out. Throw it out. Go to the drawing board this week and look what happens. Yeah, you had no choice but to throw it up to Davante at that, on that deep pass when everyone's bringing the blitz. When Spags brought everyone, but you give him a chance, and that's what the receivers can do. Look what A.J. Brown did with that crazy one-handed catch on, I can't remember if it was 3rd or 4th down. I think it was 3rd down, like 3rd and 3. Bad pass by Hurts. Boom. Just throw it up there. Good things are going to happen. You throw it to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but you got to give him a chance. Joe, what's going on, my man? Great win. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Well, I wouldn't say it was a great win. It was a win. It was a win. You get it. You needed it, and you move on. I am so glad we can move past. And what's going on, Ricky? Ricky is watching. I am so glad we can get past this game and be done talking about the Super Bowl rematch. There's so many new faces on both teams. It was far from a Super Bowl rematch. Well, what felt like a Super Bowl rematch. Yeah, it's just the two teams but Joe, love the interception by the Eagles. It was great. It was great. Mukuba, he's got the hands. He's always around the ball, right? That's what his biggest thing coming out of college, out of Texas, was. He's a ball hawk. He's always around the ball, and he's always, and that's what's going to give you. And you saw in the preseason, had a fumble recovery, and he had that interception. This week, and the reason why he's always around the ball because you're able to utilize him on blitz. You're able to utilize him on different cover schemes. He's able to be everywhere. And now you have 2 guys, what seems like in Cooper and Mukuba, who can do that. And then you have Campbell on top of that. You had Quinion, who had a few good pass breakups. Dory Jackson didn't look horrible. He still is not going to be, that's not going to be sustainable all year. Defense looks massively improved, but also a lot of luck. Yeah, a lot of luck. But that's what you're going to. I'm okay with some luck, right? But it's like what you said here, a lot of luck. I don't want these games to continue to have to be, ooh, you got a lot of luck because like what's the saying? You're going to run out of it. You're going to run out of luck eventually. So luck is you're going to have a built-in amount of luck in these games already because it's football. It's I guess what you do with that luck, and they're taking advantage of it. They're taking advantage of the luck that is going their way. Jake Elliott looked good. Jake Elliott looks real good. He looks like he could hit a 65-yarder comfortably and be comfortable. Imagine what he could do in a dome. So, here we go. Davante Adams. There we go. I couldn't think. I had the face and everything. Both Puka and Davante had good games today. Who the Rams play? Tennessee. Yeah, they didn't. Excuse me, allergies still killing me. They didn't play a great defensive team, but nonetheless, this will be offensively. I feel like the Eagles' biggest test next week. So, Myola Justa, what's going on? We need to see more AJ Brown. I'm 100% with you. You could tell that they were trying to force it into him early on, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working. Those first few possessions, they looked very sloppy. Relied on the defense again. Bond had that nice big hit on Hunt on the third down to force the punt on Kansas City's first possession. Um, and I have my notes here. Makuba, he was in on that tackle in the backfield. You benefited. Here comes where Big Al was saying about the luck. Bucker misses that field goal. Horrible. Push that thing. Oh my God, so bad. So he misses that thing wide right. But then on the Saquon touchdown on that drive, it was what, their third drive, I think. It was a good variety of quick passes to outside of the hashes that opened up those runs up the middle that Patullo seems to really love. And Saquon was able to bust open for that 13-yard touchdown. They get the lead. They definitely won the quarter, but it was it was Mahomes was doing everything he could in that first half to keep Kansas City in it with his legs. If it wasn't for Mahomes' legs and what he was able to do and pull his best Jalen Hurts impression, Kansas City is not in that game. It's probably 10-0 or 10-3 headed into halftime, not 10-10. So, what do we have? And yeah, after Mahomes left, or Mahomes had that big run to get him down there, when the rookie went out, Simmons, Fangio, he was attacking that left side. It's really started attacking and blitzing in that second quarter. They were able to get a field goal. They 7-3, and then it was really, I mean, that it got halftime. I was messaging the guys in the group chat. Halftime was there in a little over an hour. That first half, it was nothing but runs. You couldn't get anything going in the pass game. I got a little worried on that one all-out blitz when Hurts threw it up to Devontae and he landed really bad on his back. That was a little scary. Just getting some of these more. Our second half's defense is improving a lot. Second half defense, Eagles fan, is what's keeping them in the game. Is what's keeping them in the game. And until Hurts is able to, sometimes and they had the angle, the behind the quarterback, the Madden camera of everyone being covered, right? On that one play, but not everyone can be covered every play. And Hurts again just holds onto the ball too goddamn long. It is so frustrating. On the one third down that he scrambled and was able to pick up the first, because it took him forever to make up his mind, led to a hold. So again, stupid penalties. You throw it up to your guys, give them a chance. That's why you have one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver duo in the league. But it's the second half defense. What they almost went back-to-back weeks without giving up any points in the second half if Mahomes doesn't connect with Thornton on the redemption pass later on. So 100% Eagles fan. The second half defense is improving tremendously. Nooms, I want AJ Brown to take a week off once Dallas Goedert is back. Nooms, do you think he's still dealing with the with a hamstring injury or whatever lower body injury he was dealing with? He looks. You got him in motion. They had him in motion right in the 2-minute drill before halftime. He looked good. He looked good there. He looked good that whole drive. That drive, when they had the 2-minute drill right before halftime, that looked like a much better offense than what we've seen a majority of the time. But who knows when Dallas Goedert's going to be back? Jake Elliott's still in Super Bowl mode. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. No question who the better coordinator is on this team. Ooh, it's bad. It is. And yeah, this Eagles team is really kind of set up like early 90s football team, NFL team. The way the defense is, the way the lack of passing attack that they have, it's yeah, Hurts may be a winner, but dang, it's gonna catch up to you sometime if you can't get a coordinator here who is going to stay here and be able to have a playbook that meshes well and complements the quarterback. Easy win against the Rams next week. I hope so, right? I hope so, Eagles fan. I don't know about this offense. This offense is it's going to be hard to be able to keep up with a high octane offense like um like what the Rams can do. Rams are going to cause a little bit of trouble next week. They got guys. It's a complete Philly versus LA week. There we go. This week it was what? Philly versus KC. Now we have Philly versus LA week next week. I like that. I like what they're doing. I thought our screens were ill-timed today. Right idea against the blitz, but you got to give Hurts the ability to audible out when the blitz ain't there. Yeah, and they're not. This Dulo does not mesh well. His playbook, his his scheme, his strategy. I just don't like it one bit. One bit. I think it's way past time that the other Kelsey joins his brother in retirement because he absolutely sucks. He's hurting his team and literally his own teammates. Exactly, Barb. And what's up? Thank you for joining the show. It's last week. Hey, what a way for like, what a way to kick off a season for Kelsey. He hurts his teammate, and then he really is the reason why they lost. So he's focused on the podcast and doing enjoying his brother. You're right, 100%. Hurts is not an elite quarterback. He's a below average in the passing game. He is. He is. And it's frustrating to watch week in, week out. Yeah, it's nice that they keep getting these wins and everything, but you're in today's NFL, you look at what this is a different Giants team. You look at what Russell was able to do against the Cowboys. Same thing. Dak with that high scoring. The defense is only going to get you so far. You're not going to be able to have these performances, right? Makub, the rookie experience or lack of experience is going to get them somewhere, but or cause something, right? Between Makuba, Campbell, these penalties, they're going to occur in horrible, horrible times at some point in this season, and you're going to have Hurts bail them out in the passing game. And is he going to be able to? Sometimes. But I think if this Eagles team happened to go against an offensive team that can go up 10-0, 14-0, 14-3, I don't think this playbook allows, and I don't think this quarterback allows and is great for come back on. He's about 90%. He was schemed out a lot of the game, but I thought he does lack a little burst. Yeah, it's he lacks something. He lacks something. He lacks a quarterback that's going to throw him the goddamn ball. Lamb and Sanders won the game for the Eagles last week with the drops and fumble. Yeah, and again, we go back to the luck that Big Al was talking about. That's where how much you're starting the season with a lot of luck. It's gonna you can't get lucky with that all year long. You got lucky with a banged up offensive Kansas City Chiefs team with horrible wide receivers. Hollywood Brown even went out for a little bit again in this one. It's They got lucky. Mahomes overthrows Thornton. Imagine if the Kansas City Chiefs connected on that touchdown and they have about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left extra on the clock because they got that touchdown earlier than they eventually got that 49-yard or 48-yard touchdown pass from Mahomes to Thornton. But imagine if they're able to connect earlier. Got a little bit more time on the clock. It's just, I just don't think it's sustainable. Nooms, Hurts has eliminated the bad turnovers. However, that plus his pre-snap abilities still put him up there. He's up there because I think there's a lot of starting rookie quarterbacks in the league. There's a lot of sophomore and year two and rookie quarterbacks. And if there wasn't, I think Hurts falls at least in the passing game. In the passing game. So in the running game, I think he has the most rushing touchdowns in the league since like 2021. That's great if you're a running back, but you're not. So you can only rely on the legs for so long. What are you going to do on 3rd and 16? He's not going to be able to. I have no faith on like I said, 3rd and 15 or above that Hurts is going to be able to go get you a first down or even get you enough yards to make that 4th down manageable. It was almost the end of the 3rd quarter, heading into the 4th, and Hurts hadn't had a completion from a pass that had 6 or more yards in the air. I have Red Zone and watched the Rams today, and I think they look terrible. I think that a lot of teams in the first half of games are looking terrible. I think Stafford, the combination of Stafford, Luka, Devontae, and Kyron Williams is going to give this Eagles defense fits next week. Especially when you have elite wide receivers like that who, again, look at what the Cowboys did last week. I thought Dak looked pretty good. I thought, again, you benefit from Lamb in those drops. I think Lamb and Pickens showed what they can do. Now that you knock off some of that rust, there's a lot of wide receiver duos out there with good running games that I think are going to cause this Eagles team a lot of trouble. You look at Tampa Bay. That's another one coming up. Out of the box sports entertainment, what's going on? You got the Chiefs at the right time of the season, injured lucky, but a win is a win. Yeah, a win is a win, and I agree with you. This is, you could take what you want from this win, but if you end up seeing this team in the Super Bowl, because that's the next time that you'll be able to see them, it's going to look very different. So I guess all you can really take from this game are negatives to build off of so that they don't keep popping up. So, but you're right. A win is a win. I'll take it. The Eagles eliminated his turnovers because they don't trust him to throw the ball aggressively. And Barbara, it's so frustrating, Barbara. Yes, I love the fact that he doesn't turn the ball over, but I want to see him take some risks when he's not forced to on all-out blitzes. I want to see him give his guys and have that confidence in his guys and not be worried about throwing an interception. There are shallow crossers and blitz beaters completely lacking in calls today. Was awful play calling today. It really, I feel like on both teams, this was a it wasn't a Super Bowl rematch, Mahomes versus Hurts again. Week 2, probably the biggest matchup of the week. It just wouldn't didn't live up to the hype, right? But it's week 2. And yeah, the play calling was awful. I think, like I said, on both sides. Again, the Birds versus Ram game will come down to the trenches. Verse gambles too much in the run game. Pass rush is the ultimate wide receiver neutralizer. Yeah. And I feel like Verse, though, for as much as he gambles too much in the run game, it benefits them for sure. It bails them out sometimes. It for sure bails them out sometimes. And the Rams had their shot at them twice last year. And I think this is going to be an even bigger game for the Rams as a rematch, right? Because now you're moving from a Super Bowl rematch to the, what was it? It wasn't the conference. It was the week before, the division. So it's a rematch of the divisional playoff matchup. But we'll see. We'll see what next week's bring. I already know the two conversations all week on all outlets are going to be the passing game and the tush push. How much everyone is going to be talking about the referees aren't able to do it. We're sick of seeing it. It's a horrible play. Blah, 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 blah. Those are going to be the two things this week heading into probably all the way until Thursday, Friday, when they start to talk about this this game against the Rams. When the Eagles' old ages out, Hurts won't be able to be on this team anymore. Especially that offensive line. Oh, offensive line. That's what you're saying. Offensive line ages out. Hurts won't be able to be on this team. It's unless he finds a passing attack. Unless he finds a passing attack. Paul Spencer, what's going on, man? All I know is we survived and we have the best kicker in the NFL. 65 yards was a chip shot. And the confidence, too, Paul, in that that they didn't even, it was a draw play right before, and you had time. They had time to, you probably could have gotten 10 yards off a quick pass, go out of bounds. But the confidence to just, let's just hand the ball off, a little draw play, got only like a few more yards. Beautiful kick. Beautiful kick. Chief got the Eagles at the right time with a rookie coordinator missing his alleged bad quarterback and his tight end safety valve. What did they do? Yeah, I think the passing attack really showed how much Hurts misses Goddard in these sort of games. Calcaterra had a catch and Granson had a catch. Like they had, the tight ends were pretty much invisible and pointless to be out there other than to pass block. So do you have faith though, Nooms, that Tulo and Hurts can figure this out? Or is this just what we're going to get for the rest of the season? Are we going to just get these 20, 26, 23-point sort of performances and rely on the defense and let it dictate week by week on when they need to unleash some sort of passing attack? See Steve driving home now. Have a good one. Get home safe. Barb. Stafford healthy beats the Eagles. Puka and Adams today over 200 yards and a running game from Kyren and Sirius. Yeah, and those are the three. It's a three-headed monster. You have a veteran quarterback, proven Super Bowl winning quarterback on the other side, who's a gunslinger, who is definitely going to test, isn't going to be afraid of Quinyon. He's for sure going to test Adoree Jackson. Even if Adoree doesn't go out there and this is Bennett's chance to go out there and get the start, and Jackson, he went off for a little bit. He looked a little injured. I don't know if he obviously came back in, but Jordan Davis, another guy who looked like he was cramping up a few times today. But Next week, a lot of offensive power. A lot of offensive power to have to deal with. Hurts sees the game from outside in and not inside out. It's just the way it is. This coordinator is going to earn this really quickly. I'm hoping, and this is where I, I say it all the time about Jalen Hurts, the winner intangibles that he has. Right, he won at maybe not didn't win at every level, but he always gave his team a chance. Right, even in Alabama, even when he got benched, it's not like he left the next season. He stayed there and was able to, when Tua got hurt in the SEC championship game, came in and won the game for him in the fourth quarter. It was his senior year that he went to Oklahoma and was in the Heisman and in the playoffs. So with you there, he is able to give his team and put his team and always has his team in a position to win the game. It's can he make the plays when needed? I think when they're down, but they're not down that much. So no, that was to send it to overtime as it expired. He kicked the 45-yard. Yeah, that's what I was talking about right before at the end of the fourth quarter. That's what I was talking about. It was crazy. They had the faith in him to be able to go get that, and that was a hell of a game. That was a hell of an ending. If none of us have learned not to judge NFL teams and players in the first 4 weeks of regular preseason football, then I can't help them. And as you get to 18 weeks, soon probably going to be 19 and 20, because I can see preseason getting to just be 2 games. And why not just, if more of these teams are just going to rest their starters, why not? Why not just jump into the regular season earlier and really let the first 3-4 games of the regular season be the warm up? And if you go out there and you have these ugly, I think the NFL might like it. You go out there and in the witching hour of the first of the 1:00 game, there's so many games that were right there. Same thing with the you had the Broncos and the Colts, and then you had even Carolina was giving the Cardinals a scare. So maybe you just add more regular season games, cut the preseason even more short, and just jump right into it. The catch from Smith bailed out Hurts. Bad ball by Duffy. But that's what you give your guy a chance. I'd rather him be flat-footed, not under duress, giving his guys a chance, so it's a better ball, but at least give your guys a chance and want to do it when you're not under duress and forced to, right? And that's a 50-50 ball, and trusting your 1A, 1B wide receiver in Devontae Smith. And to go back to Paul, that's one of those plays too that Hurts always has that, again, gets him out of situations. He has that big play ability in him, and that was the one. That was the one. Michael Kaepernick Jr., what's going on? This Eagles offense has no motion or creativity. The only motion I saw in the first half was right before the half ended. That final 2-minute drill when they were going down, where AJ Brown had the one-handed. That's really the only time in the first half that I saw it. And then the game script dictated you didn't really need past that much in the second half. For what it's worth, Joe Montana left San Francisco when his offensive line started aging into another set of players that needed to gel. And maybe that's what it'll be. But you take advantage of this offensive line while you got it now. And another week of Dickerson fighting through these injuries and playing his ass off. Paul, gotta get you on with me sometimes to talk some NFL and college ball. Yep, I watch it all. Especially college. I'm a big Ohio State guy. Nooms, it may bite the birds around the 4th through the 9th weeks before the bye. I'm sure most people had this penciled in as a loss. A lot of people, especially at WIP, had it penciled in, seems like, as an acceptable loss. Stupid, 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 stupid. No, but hey, at the end of the day, Nooms, right? They're 2-0. They're 2-0. Saquon was able to, he looked a lot better this time around versus this Chiefs pretty good run defense. That he looked like he had a little bit more burst. Obviously, the Super Bowl is that far at the end of the season. So after the grueling, how many carries he had last season, yeah, you're not going to be 100% going into the game. But he looked good. I think even the chances that Dylan had, he looked good. So the run game, I feel really strong about the run game, especially in the future when you're not going up against teams that have such a stellar run defense. It's going to be Saquon's obviously not going to have his 2,000 yards or probably anywhere close. Maybe 1,200 yards, I think, this season. Michael saying, I get it that there won't be good football till like October, but this Eagles offense has so much talent that offensive coordinator cannot figure out how to run Saquon on sweeps instead of off tackle or up the middle. Nothing. It's now their touchdown drive on his 13-yard touchdown run. I loved what they did. They really set it up on outside of the hashes on what Saquon. I know Dylan had a pass on that. Say our Devontae Smith had that screen, had that slip screen. So it was it really opened up the middle. But if you're just gonna keep doing it up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, it's frustrating. And I kept saying to myself, what are they after the Kansas City Chiefs scored? What are they going to do? How are they going to go and try? What is the play calling going to be like on this for these final? What was it like 4 and some change? And it was just, or was it going to be bland? And it was cornflakes without the frosted flakes, right? I want the play calling. I want the frosted flakes. It's just, it's bland right now. What really bugged me, there were very little formations having both run and pass options. That is a very, very poor design and very disconcerting. I hope the players don't revolt on this dude. And it seems like they're being patient with him. Right? I feel like a lot of people were waiting for AJ Brown to blow up last week and figure out what he was going to complain about, the whole wide receiver diva thing. And it wasn't. He didn't. He was really good with the media. Maybe that's what winning the Super Bowl will do for you, right? You don't care anymore. You at least know what to say to the media and you keep it in house, keep it in the locker room. But I get, this team just feels like as long as they keep winning, doesn't matter how they do it, they're happy with it. So I'm with you though. I hope they don't revolt. You got to give this guy a chance because at the end of the day, who are you going to go out? Who are you going to go out and get? It's going to have to be in house, and it's remember that shit with Brian Johnson. It sucked. It sucked dealing with it, and you don't want to go through it again. And that's what sucks about the Eagles being set up. How successful they are. They're set up to always lose their offensive coordinator for a head coaching job. Or the next one that comes in is set up for failure because you're dealing with a high octane offense and you want the fans to see the high octane offense moving and grooving, and it doesn't. It always is in that Seattle game. Which one? I can't remember. I can't remember what I did earlier in the week. All these dang shows, and then what? I got to get into it here in a minute. I got the Tuesday show for the Fighting Final, 10 o'clock. Who's staying up till 1 o'clock with me? When he was calling outside tosses, I started going ape shit. But I guess he decided to channel his inner Chip Kelly and beat teams horizontally. Fangio is the saving grace. Hell, he may be more popular than Nick. He is very popular. I last year was covering a Villanova game that he was in house, and holy hell, that place erupted when he got up on the big screen. It was good, and he really is the saving grace. You look at what he's been able to do the second half of games. The scheme has been in the game, the strategy, the adjustments have been great. He blitzed his ass off today, and I think he loves having a guy like Makuba to be able to use in those sort of blitzes. So, guys, let's get into this. Eagles get the win. Sounded like they lost. The way I'm talking, I feel like, but it's all right. It's all right. Happy with the win, and you keep it moving. Keep it moving the next week. And next week, folks, they got the Rams. So it'll be what? That's a 1 p.m. game. So be about 4:30 for the Birds Fly By next week. And while we're on the topic of Eagles content, Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn will be Thursday at 7 p.m. unless there's any sort of conflicts on his end, scheduling wise. Make sure you guys are tuning into the social medias post. They'll be always got the updates for those. What else we got? Football related. We got Mike hosting Penn State football postgame show. Happy Valley Huddle. Ugh. Who does Penn State got this week? I don't know who they got this week, but they're coming off a great win against Villanova. And you guys can also check out Mike Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Prop Locks and Parlays with Mike Lauro. No pressure sports betting for entertainment purposes only. And then Thursday we got the Attacking Third with myself, and I believe Pat will be back this Thursday. Union got spanked last night, 7-0. So hopefully they bounce back. We'll be talking about two games. They got a game Tuesday, and then we'll be previewing their match Saturday. And then for you Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Steel City Sunday pre and post game show. Those guys do a big and long pregame show. So make sure you guys are tuning in. And then Friday, the wraparound with Pat Bernard or Mike Lauer or Big Al. Someone will be doing the wraparound 10:30 Friday, talking about the games and breaking news and everything that happened during the week in Philadelphia and bringing you into the weekend. And then on Sundays at 9 a.m., your Sunday mornings would never be the same with Pat, Mike, and Big Al, P&M in the AM, getting you guys ready for football and hopefully talking about the NL East champions. This week's Fighting's final lineup, late night. This is the late night crew. Monday, you got Matty B. Tuesday, you got myself. And then Wednesday, Matty B again for the series against the Dodgers in LA. And then Sunday through Thursday, it's the final word with Matty B, the trademark, the signature show. He'll have lots to talk about this offensive performance, I'm sure. So make sure you guys are tuning in tonight. And here it is for you guys. All right. Let's go around the league. Go around the league and check some of these scores before I head out. Of course, we just went over the Eagles going to 2-0, getting the win over the Chiefs, 20-17. Ugly offensive performance. Defense does what they need to again. Helps hand Mahomes his first 3-game losing streak. Love to see it. Cowboys and Giants, the other teams in the division. Cowboys get the win in overtime, 40-30. Earlier on in the week, the Packers beat the Commanders. So good to see two division opponents take L's this week. What else? Rams opponent next week beat up on the Titans and the rookie quarterback, Cam Ward, 33-19. Bengals, Joe Burrow goes out. I think they had a big toe injury, possibly tore a ligament in it. But Browning comes in, does his best Burrow impression. They get the win, 31-7 or 27 over the Jaguars or the Jags, whatever. Ravens put a beat down on the Browns, 41-17. Jets lose to the Bills, 30-10. A lot of running game, big game from James Cook. Really good for my fantasy. Thank you. What do we got? Patriots and Dolphins. That one was a shootout too. Tua actually looked like a functional quarterback today, but the Patriots, they get their first win of the season. They win 33-27. 49ers and Saints. Mac Jones, 3 touchdowns, and Spencer Rattler, 3 touchdowns as well. But the 49ers get the win, 26-21. Lions, oh man, Amon-Ra St. Brown with a big game, 3 touchdowns. Gibbs gets a touchdown. Montgomery gets a touchdown versus old team. And the Bears lose to the Lions 52-21. What's his face? Ben Johnson was not welcomed back to Detroit in that one. Seahawks get the win over Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers 31-17. Seahawks don't look too bad. Sam Darnold doesn't look too bad over there with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Look pretty good. Colts get the 1-point win, 29-28 over the Broncos. Danny Dimes over there in Indianapolis. Who would have thought? But I know Jonathan Taylor had a big game too. Cardinals get the win, 27-22 over the Panthers. Tonight's game, Falcons, Vikings. I got Falcons personally getting the win. And then tomorrow night, you got 2 Monday Night Football games. You got the Bucks and the Texans, 7 p.m. And then for the late night crew, you got the Chargers and the Raiders. Might have a double screen, right, with the Phillies and the Chargers and Raiders game. So both teams 1-0. One of them's getting their first loss of the season. So guys, make sure next week you are tuning in to the Birds Fly By. We'll be talking Rams. Hopefully taking the L. Eagles back at home. That kid, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Patulo Eagles, Brian Johnson, part 2. That's what we're trying to avoid. Nooms, we just need that defense to play well up to the bye and have KP hopefully figure it out. All in, not well, but it's well enough to get a good number of areas. And it's good enough to get a win. A lot of people had this Eagles team starting 2-2. Last year, the bye week was after the 2-2 start. This year, you got a little bit of time, about halfway through the season, until you have a week off to kind of figure it out. No back-to-back home games. So a lot of traveling in between these wins right now. These weeks, a lot of traveling, going back and forth between home and away. So I got faith, though. That they'll figure it out. They will. So Eagles move to 2-0. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the show. Hopefully, we're still talking the same results. Mickey, hey, everyone. Hey, Mickey, we're getting ready to end here. Mickey Delaney, what's going on? Eagles get the win. And hopefully we're talking the same results next week, just in a more positive fashion. Hopefully the win looks a little bit prettier. So everyone have a good night, and make sure you guys are tuning into the Final Word with Matty B later tonight. All right. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds.